All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We're looking at some incredibly fascinating source material from the F9XR team today, and they've laid out a complete blueprint for digital discovery in 2026. The landscape has totally shifted over the last couple of years, and honestly, the rules of the game are changing fast. We're going to unpack exactly what it actually takes to get found online today. So, right off the bat, when reviewing the research, this one glaring question just jumps right out at you. Why do great businesses fail online? We see this literally everywhere, right? You have these incredible startups, super passionate founders, amazing local businesses, and they are getting completely outshined by competitors who, quite frankly, have much weaker products. And according to the data, it's almost never a lack of effort. It all comes down to poor, disjointed digital architecture. People build a website once, maybe let a Google listing sit half-filled, and just leave their data completely scattered. And the cost of that? Well, get this. The research shows a staggering 60% of leads are lost to poor digital architecture. 60%! Think about how much time, money, and energy goes into building a business, only to lose more than half your potential leads just because the digital infrastructure has cracks in it. In today's market, your customer's first impression of you is almost entirely digital. It's not just a nice to have anymore. It's the invisible infrastructure actually holding up your revenue. The stakes here are absolutely massive. So to fix this, we're going to walk through this blueprint layer by layer. We'll start with foundational SEO and backlinks, move into product launch directories, then generative engine optimization, AI agent skill directories, and finally we'll tie it all together with the architecture of growth. Okay, starting right at the bottom layer, foundational SEO and backlinks, building the base of your digital presence. Before we even touch AI, we have to get this right. And this timeline brilliantly illustrates exactly why. Tracing the evolution of search is a wild ride. You literally cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp, right? In the late 90s, you just submitted your site to Yahoo and hoped for the best. Fast forward to 2012, and Google's Penguin update absolutely terrified people by penalizing all that spammy link building. Then boom, 2023 hits with early AI plugin stores, and now, gearing up for 2026, we're navigating Model Context Protocol, or MCP, registries. But through all of that crazy evolution, one thing has always stayed the same. You need a highly diverse, high-quality backlink profile to establish real authority. F9XR actually recommends a list of over 100 free backlink sites, but it's really about how they break them down. It's like a balanced diet. First, you've got Web 2.0 platforms like WordPress for those high-authority, contextual links. Then forum communities like Quora or Reddit, where you actually have to jump into niche discussions and build authority. And finally, social bookmarking sites for driving highly targeted referral traffic. Getting a diverse mix across all these categories is the secret to how growth actually compounds over time. But there's a huge warning in the source material here. Authenticity is absolutely everything. The data makes it so clear that if you try to take shortcuts with automated bot spam, it creates these unnatural patterns and you will get slapped with a Google algorithm penalty. No question. Search engines are looking for real, human-curated context from genuine profiles. The manual, authentic approach is what actually wins the long game. Let's move on to the middle layer. Product launch directories. Getting your first real users. So the blueprint curates this massive list of launch directories. We're talking heavy hitters like Product Hunt, Micro Launch, Peer List. Now, obviously, these are great for getting early user feedback, which is vital for any startup, but the hidden value here, these are prime real estate for scoring some of the most authoritative early SEO backlinks you can possibly get. This is the exact playbook developers are using to actually break into the market. All right, next up, we are crossing into the new search frontier. Generative engine optimization. We are in the middle of a massive paradigm shift. The research points out that over 60% of searches are now spitting out AI-generated answers. Traditional SEO used to just be about fighting for keywords and backlinks so you'd rank on a Google results page. But today, you have to think about generative engine optimization, or GEO. So the crucial point is, GEO is an entirely different beast. It's all about entity-based optimization and using structured schema markup so AI can actually digest your content. If that sounds super technical, let's break it down. Basically, generative engine optimization is serving your brand's data on a silver platter directly to AI crawlers. By using proper schema markup, you are essentially forcing the AI to recognize your business, your services, and your team as definitive entities. It's like handing the AI a perfectly highlighted cheat sheet. This is how you make sure you get discovered, cited, and recommended directly by the AI engines. And the crazy part is, you actually have to optimize for all the different major players. You have to format your data so ChatGPT cites you in its summaries. You need to structure things for Google Gemini's AI overviews. You've got to be ready for Microsoft Copilot across Bing. And you want to be a trusted source for Perplexity's deep dive citations. The bottom line here, if these AI models don't know who you are, you simply do not exist to a massive chunk of potential new customers. Which brings us right to the cutting edge. AI Agent Skill Directories, navigating the 2026 ecosystem. If you or your team are building custom AI tools, LLMs, or MCP servers, you absolutely have to know about these directories. The source lists platforms like Awesome Skills, Claude Marketplaces, and Smithery as completely non-negotiable. Why? Because you want to put your tool exactly where other developers are already looking to integrate. Registering here builds massive ecosystem credibility and drives incredibly high-intent adoption. So how do you actually pull this off? The report lays out a really practical 5-step roadmap. First, match your directory to your agent type. Second, prepare comprehensive documentation. And get this, the data shows agents with clear docs get 5 to 10 times more adoption. That's huge. Third, give them a live sandbox demo so they can play around before committing. Fourth, build up that early social proof and get reviews. And fifth, make sure you maintain and update your listing regularly. The research actually highlights a perfect real-world example of this with F9XR's own open-source SEO CodeBase Auditor skill. It's a completely free tool that lets AI coding assistants run a massive 24-pillar SEO audit directly on a website's source code. And instead of just giving generic warnings, it returns exact code fixes. It's super fascinating to see how these practical AI skills are genuinely being deployed out in the wild right now. Let's move to our final section and see how this builds into everything else, the architecture of growth, the invisible infrastructure. I absolutely love this guiding philosophy from the text. We build what the business actually needs, not the most expensive or complex option available. You know, in a world where it is so incredibly easy to get distracted by flashy new AI toys, this is such a grounding reminder. Your tech stack should be solving real problems, getting you more visibility, saving you time. Your digital architecture needs to work just as hard as you do. Because at the end of the day, underneath all of this technology, the schemas, the registries, the AI agents, there is a vital human element. The blueprint calls this the back-end crew. You've got architects like AJ running the actual infrastructure, you've got operators like Ahadasham coordinating everything with the clients, and strategic partners like SponsorLane's agency helping creators scale up. It literally takes an entire ecosystem of dedicated, specialized humans to keep this digital machine running. To put that into perspective, this crew manages over 50 active systems with round-the-clock monitoring. The result? A 99.9% uptime guarantee. It just proves that a real, resilient digital presence is never a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. You need a highly skilled back-end crew to maintain, secure, and scale the whole shebang. So, that brings us to the ultimate question for today. Will your digital architecture survive the next evolution of search? We've unpacked the whole blueprint today, from those foundational backlinks all the way up to generative engine optimization and AI agent directories. Honestly, you might want to audit your own digital growth strategy right now before your competitors do it tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.